Namaste, I Dr. Juhi Singh, Assistant Professor at Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur, at the Department of Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences. Today's our topic is Introduction to the Pharmacognosy. And what is the history of pharmacognosy? Man, in initial days, used substances obtained from various plants and animal sources as the food stuff. Slowly, these substances were used as the drug to treat the different diseases, which is born with the man. The use of plant as source of drugs lies in the deep of antiquity of the drug. No one will ever know what the led primitive man to select a specific material to treat the diseases, but it can be attributed to the intrinsic nature of the man. The plant were absolutely necessary for the life of man, right? And today we have a vast knowledge of the chemical and therapeutic property of the different plants. So the large number of drug was derived from the plant kingdom. So the history of the herbal drug date back perhaps from the origin of the human race. We already know that. So the document of the ancient era reveals that the plant were used to as a drug in Egypt, China, Persia, Arabia, Greek, India before the beginning of the Christian era. So the initial man passes knowledge to other man or other community through oral communication. Slowly, as the different civilization developed, man was able to communicate his knowledge by first by the craving into the stone or clay, later than writing on the parchment and on the paper. So, in the very ancient or very old library, as the Arician king to the Egyptian Papyrus libraries, I think, sorry, Papyrus Erebus in 1600 BC. Papyrus Erebus is an oldest document of containing 700 medicinal herbs and more than 870 formulas are there. Shen Nungs, an emperor of China, wrote Pante Shao in 300 BC, which contain 365 drugs. Different of drugs are contained on this document, which is wrote by the China, one for each day of the year. Means 365 means every year have a 365 days. So 365 drugs, different drugs, one for each day of the year. So next is, you know that the drug which is crude drug is already always mean for the Ayurveda. So Ayurveda means the science of life. An Indian system of the medicine is of a very foundation stone of the ancient medicinal sciences in India. Ayurveda was evolved between 400 to 600 BC, and the objective of Ayurveda is not to prevent the diseases but to promote the health and the quality of the life of the patient. The treatise dealing of Ayurveda are Sutra Samhita and Charak Samhita. Both were compiled in between 500 to 300 BC. Charak Samhita was deal with mostly with the patient or with the plant, drug for the plant, and Sutra Samhita was deal with only with the surgery. Next, Hippocrates. Hippocrates is already known the father of medicine in 460 to 360 BC. Gives his contribution for the anatomy and physiology for the human beings. Next, the Aristotle, the father of natural history in 384 to 322 BC. He was a philosopher and wrote about the animal kingdoms, which is considered as authoritative even in the 21st century also. Next come Theopratus in 370 to 287 BC. All his studies is about the plant kingdoms. And the next Greek physician was come named Dioscorides in 40 to 80 AD. describe about the medicinal plant like opium, belladonna, cinchona, colchicine, ergot, and these all those drugs are also used nowadays widely, right? Then Galen was come in 131 to 200 AD, and he was the first pharmacist. Describe the different method of the preparation of the preparation containing the active ingredients ingredient constituents of the crude drug. Another branch which deal with the extraction of animal plant drugs known as the Galenian pharmacy. After this, there was a period of about 1000 year, which is very little process was made in the field of medicinal science. No major attempts was done or was to made to changes in the formation of medicaments, but still herbal drugs were used to treat the diseases in this period. The French apothecary, which name as Henri Mare, in 1657 to 1715, he reported the method of extraction method of different plants, and he said he also contribute what is the use of alcohol as the solvent, which we can use as alcohol as a solvent in pharmaceutical sciences, and he say it is the ideal solvent. Then next the chemist come from the German in 1806. He named as Sertner. He isolated the opium from the morphine. Sorry, morphine from the opium. In 1811, the Portuguese chemist named as Gomes isolated the isolated the colchicine from the cinchona bark. Next, the French chemist was come named as Cavetier and Caventau, which is strychnine and bucine from the Nux vomica seed. Many scientists will come and contribute in the pharmacy and the pharmaceutical sciences. So initially in 19th century, in 19th century, the term materia medica was used for the subject now as the pharmacognosy. The word pharmacognosy is coined with the German scientist C.A. Sadler in 1815 in his work entitled Analecta Pharmacognostica. The name pharmacognosy is derived from the two Greek words pharmakon, which means as a drug, and gignosko means to acquire the knowledge. Broadly, pharmacognosy is defined as the scientific study of the structural, physical, chemical, biological characteristic of the crude drug along with their history, cultivation, collection, preparation for the market, and the preservation for their preservation. In short, pharmacognosy is the objective study of the crude drugs, right, which is derived from the plant, animals, and minerals, and different sources which we obtain other than the human beings or any chemical form, right, treated and which is treated by the scientifically. What is the scenario in the present days? What is the scenario which is going on in the present days, and what is the scope of the pharmacognosy? So nowadays medicinal plants are widely used in throughout the world the medicinal plants are used. For the scope of pharmacognosy is very wide nowadays. After the Second World War, almost almost every country has established its medicinal plant research institute and laboratories. New plants regularly screened, and they are isolated any constituents and being screened and plant, and the crude drugs which is investigated and rejected earlier and re-examined using all the modern techniques, by using modern techniques like liquorize, Verentum, Podophyllum, Senna, Digitalis. Many drugs, many new drugs are come, and their isolation is done, their re-examination will done. So some of the example of the older drug which is re-examined, right? These are the some examples which is re-examined. The medicinal plant used in herbal drugs are also studies on the basis of fall 4, right. As there's a condition increase in the demand of the herbal drug, many countries including India also use the herbal drug widely. So pharmacopoeia is in which the contain all the regulatory requirements for the medicinal plants or medicinal herbs, what quantity should be used, what product can be maintained, all those are contained in the pharmacopoeia. Monograph is also available nowadays for the large number of the quantity of the plant can be maintained. Maintain all the description tests for identity, their purification methods, all those things are production, all those things are available in the pharmacopoeia. There is Indian pharmacopoeia, British pharmacopoeia, USP, United Kingdom pharmacopoeia. Pharmacognosy as an applied science has played important role in the development of disciplines of the sciences. In terms of crude drugs, pharmacognosy is principally concerned with the plant material. Therefore, the pharmacognosist should possess basic knowledge of botany or any plant structure, their constituents in the plant, the knowledge of plant cultivation, their taxonomy, their genetic material, their breeding, all these knowledge will help the development of the cultivation and technology for the medicinal plants. Phytochemistry has a significant developed and contributed in the chemical knowledge due to the elucidation of the structure of isolated constituents. In pharmacognosy, we also study about animal source of drugs from the animals, like many waxes, many gels come from the waxes, gelatins, wool, fat, and vitamins from the animal. These are the sources of drugs. Animals is also a source of drug, right? So the fat or wool, etc., we can obtain from the animals. And like other natural hormones, natural vitamins, and other antibiotics, many constituents can be used as other substituents, like many plant or animal have no active constituent for therapeutic uses, but it can be used as a flavoring agent, coloring agent. So we have to learn all those things, all the source of plant. uh, Other area which we read in the pharmacognosy, like many drugs are poisonous in nature, insecticides are there, and toxicity of the plant we have to learn, and many hallucinogenic plants, allergens, herbicides, insecticides, etc. The use of herbal drugs is increasing day by day. A new drug, plant drug are finding their way to introduce as purified phytochemicals. Thus, the pharmacological and chemical screening is essential for the information regarding their use and their side effects, because every drug has a side effect. Even the crude drug or drug which is obtained from the plants is also have a side effects, can be determined to the peoples, right? So hence the pharmacognosy is a vital link between the pharmacology and the medicinal chemistry. Basically, pharmacognosy is an infrastructure on which the depend evolving of noble medicine and provide the system of active principle of the crude drugs derived from the natural sources as formulated and dispensed into various dosage forms as used in the Ayurveda allopathic system of medicines. So, pharmacognosy is an important link between the Ayurvedic and allopathic system of medicines, right? Briefly, the natural source of drug are required to be exploited more and more. The popularity of natural drugs throughout the world clearly indicate the significant contribution of pharmacognosy in the modern medicine. So thank you. Any doubt, please comment. Namaste.